Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I wanted to go over pre-ICOs and how to recognize if they are a scam. Now, I was involved in the Sealy scam, so I have a little bit of experience with pre-ICO scams. That one, I did have a suspicion that something wasn't right, so I didn't contribute a tremendous amount, only about $150. I was watching people contribute 50 Ethereum, $50,000 at the time on that on the Sealy pre-sale, and I just had a bad feeling about it. My intuition, my spidey sense tingled, and that I think is the number one, which should be number one on my list, is your intuition. If you have a good feeling about the project, then go ahead with it. But first, you have to look at some of these things. So number one, they guarantee future growth of the token or payments to investors. Obvious examples of this are BitConnect. And a big one, similar to BitConnect, a new lending platform on an artificial neural network, is EOZ. This one, they have been giving their tokens out to all the big YouTubers to promote this, and it's gotten awful reviews. If you try to find their team, well, you can't. There's no team. If you read, high investment, high risk, high profit, if they use fancy buzzwords, artificial neural network, over and over, what does that even mean, right? So that's just one example. Number two, their team has no experience and just created their LinkedIn profiles. Now on that EOZ site, they don't have a team. Other times you'll find they just created LinkedIn profiles this year, and other times you'll find no LinkedIn profiles. And if you search their name on LinkedIn, you may not find that they exist on LinkedIn. And if you pull up their name anywhere, just Google the CEO's name and see what comes up. That would be a quick way to tell if they are legit. Number three, information about collections is not transparent. By collections, what I mean, let's go back to EOZ as an example. It would tell you here usually how much people are investing in this. In a normal ICO website, you would see how much people are contributing, and if they're not disclosing that, you should be a little bit suspicious. They don't visit cryptocurrency conferences and avoid special events. So this I found with a lot of these pre-ICOs, you don't see them with their board and presentation set up, answering questions at the cryptocurrency conferences. So that's a big red flag. If they're not visiting any conferences, they're probably not legit. Number five, cheaply made website or no website at all. And I've seen a lot of really good ICOs with bad websites and a lot of scam ICOs with really good websites. So this one you have to take with a grain of salt, but when you go to the website, you should be able to find the roadmap, a link to the white paper, the team. All of the ICO websites are pretty much the same. So if they want millions and millions of dollars for their pre-ICO, then they should probably invest a little bit of money into their website. So how do you choose the best pre-ICO? There was a recent poll on Bitcoin Talk forum, and overwhelmingly, over 50% of the people that voted number one thing to look for in a ICO and pre-ICO is the team and the advisors. So the level of the people and the websites talking about it, advisory board with some experience. So you want to look at the advisors, see what kind of advisor. This is the biggest thing, is the team, right? This is what they voted for. I always go to the LinkedIn profiles and see what type of prior experience they have, other websites, other businesses. Are they blockchain experts? Are they marketers? Do they have a background in computer science, mathematics, cryptography? So that's it can be tedious to do all that, but if you're willing to invest thousands of dollars, you should definitely look into the team. The number two most voted thing to look out for in ICOs and pre-ICOs is obviously the white paper and the roadmap. So is the white paper easy to read, or does it have a lot of unnecessary technical jargon? I can't tell you how many white papers I've seen that are just filled with things even a PhD in mathematics couldn't understand. Some of these white papers rather are literally ridiculous. And if I find a white paper that's 100 pages filled with buzzwords, I tend to avoid that pre-ICO. And the roadmap, do they have the roadmap just for this year? And then at the end of it, it says coming soon. I just did a review on Kick City, and it said after December, it said more to come or something like that. And they should have 2, 3, 4 year roadmap laid out at least. Disruptive in nature. So this was another big one that was voted on Bitcoin Talk. I never really paid much attention to this, but is the market ready for the technology? Is it ahead of its time? Is there any technology like it? Is it creative, innovative, new, something that people are going to use? So these are things you have to take into account. Hype and marketing. This one is huge, right? But how do you get hype in marketing? If you go to bounty campaigns on Bitcoin Talk, they will a pre-ICO will make a bounty and give you their token in exchange for posting on social media such as Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit and YouTube. Obviously, a lot of the YouTubers get paid in the token to review the ICO. I don't get paid anything because I have a couple subscribers. If I had 50,000 subscribers and I was getting 2 Bitcoin worth of some token, yeah, I'd review it. So, but that's how you get the hype in the marketing, is by giving out your token in these bounty programs to YouTubers, paying people to write articles, and obviously getting in on the ICO review websites, and that costs money. So they need to build up their funds, usually by getting in on the pre-sale. So by having the YouTubers promote their product, they get money through the pre-sale, then they pay to get on the ICO review websites like ICO drops, which I've heard can cost up to about $1 million to get on ICO drops. And obviously Google ads, if you see those ads pop up on CoinMarketCap, those aren't free. Business utility, what the problem they are trying to solve? Well, this kind of ties into disruptive in nature. So is the utility what's the utility trying to solve, right? And then is it disruptive, that utility? So these two, I guess, would be tied together. They were voted separately, but this last one I really want to discuss. These are the different risk levels. So I found when looking at pre-ICOs, which are a bit different than ICOs, there are 3 levels of risk. Well, there's high risk, low risk, and medium risk, right? But not really. So is it a scam? Which means you don't get your tokens. It's just like that one website that was it GIMP? Nah, I forgot it, but they closed down the ICO and just wrote penis. But that means you don't get your tokens. You invest the money, you don't get the tokens. Surprisingly, there's very few of these. Number 2 is incompetence, which means you invest in the ICO, but they just don't deliver the product. So this happens in a lot of the pre-ICOs that I've seen. I've seen bounty threads on Bitcoin Talk going on for almost a year. They're just giving away their cheap token to get free marketing, and they never deliver the product. Number 3, bad luck. So they are decent, and they have done the marketing and couldn't really get on an exchange for some reason. Well, usually because the ICO didn't sell. It just couldn't get minimum traction. Bad luck, bad marketing, bad project. I guess you could put that all into. So, yeah. Those are the things I wanted to discuss in this video, so I hope you guys learned something. This is my mental checklist I use when looking at pre-ICOs. And if you like this, I'm going to go over plenty of pre-ICOs that I currently watch. I have a spreadsheet of about 100 that I'm looking at right now. And who knows if they're going to be a year from now, they could be worth a ton of money, or they could be worth nothing. But I'm going to show you how to analyze the pre-ICOs, what to look out for, and how to know if it's a good idea to invest. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and until next time.